All right, we know the news has been heavy today, so we're gonna switch things up and introduce you to one of our newest team members. You might have already seen him right here on The Current or on our 11 a.m. show. We have meteorologist Matthew Clark joining us right now. Matthew, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for letting me join.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on joining us here at
Yes.
Channel 8. You're how many weeks into your new position?
This will be my 3rd week here.
Okay.
So I moved in 2 Fridays ago.
Okay, well, tell us, where'd you grow up and where'd you go to college?
So I grew up in Tampa, Florida, and I went to college at the University of Florida. So if there's any Gators out there, go Gators. I want to say that. And yeah, so I went there for 4 years, got my bachelor's in science there, talking about weather, and yeah, really just love doing what I do.
Well, let's come back to weather in a
Yes.
second, because I want to hear how you're settling into the Quad Cities.
Yes.
It's been 3 weeks, is a pretty good stretch of time.
Yeah, so I actually have discovered deck hockey
yes.
out over in Crow Creek Park in Bettendorf. That's been a lot of fun. And then also I play hockey in high school, so I'm just happy to get back on the ice at the River's Edge rink in Davenport. So having a lot of fun with that. And then obviously golf with James.
Obviously.
That's fun. He's still beating me. But I'll get him one day.
We got time to work
Yeah,
on
we
that.
got plenty of time to work on the golf game.
And you're so lucky. I mean, we have such a vibrant hockey community here in the Quad Cities.
I know.
So.
I didn't think it was going to be as vibrant as it was, and you know, it really is. And I've really enjoyed my short time here already, and you know, look forward to continuing.
Well, we'll have to get you out at some Storm games once their season starts back up again this fall.
I think it's October, right?
Yep, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Ooh, now I feel like a bad fan because I don't remember the exact one.
I think it's October.
Yeah,
That's when the NHL season starts. Most hockey returns.
Exactly.
Then. But yeah, excited
well,
for
let's
that.
turn back to weather.
Yes.
What got you into forecasting?
So, being from Florida, I've lived through a lot of hurricanes, probably over a dozen in my time in Florida. So 21 years down in Florida, and yeah, I've lived through a lot of hurricanes, and I used to be afraid of the afternoon thunderstorms in Florida, and just whatever happens in Florida weather-wise. And then something clicked in 2017 with Hurricane Irma. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, how can a hurricane like this happen? I mean, it just shot up the Florida peninsula and caused so much damage, and it was a storm of a century until Milton and Helene came along in 2024, back-to-back hurricanes. So Irma was really what set the tone for me to be like, wow, I want to forecast and learn about how to forecast these kinds of events, and then also helping people as well. So,
was your family impacted by Irma? Were they okay?
Yeah, but they were okay. Me and my mom, stepdad, sister, and my grandma, we drove up to North Georgia to evacuate. And this was originally when Irma was going to kind of cut across the Florida peninsula and going to go off into the Atlantic, but instead it just went straight up into Georgia. So we ended up losing water and power at the rental house we were at and had to drive back through Hurricane Irma. So that was fun. And, it was a tropical storm at that point, that far inland, but it was still pretty nasty weather. And I was like, wow, this is, looking out the window, I'm like, we are not going to make it.
Is that where your tattoo comes from?
Not that. So the tattoo comes from Hurricane Milton.
Oh,
That's the one that happened 2 years ago, which hit Tampa. And there's the tattoo on my left tricep. That's the infrared imagery of Milton when it was just north of the Yucatan Peninsula. And that was when it was a Category 5, exceeding winds over 200 miles an hour. Now, it made landfall as a Category 3 in Tampa, which, if there's any good news to that, it didn't hold its structure like that, because if that hit Tampa, you would have been talking about a much, more devastating storm. But I covered that at WFT in Gainesville. 22 hours I was there by myself. We had some people downstairs in the basement, but I was the only student forecaster there.
Well,
so
certainly
doing cut-ins and
that was one of the things that really impressed me when you came up and visited the station and you were interviewing for the job, is the experience that you have with these incredible storms. And obviously we don't get hurricanes up here in the Midwest. So what about Midwest weather are you excited to forecast?
So definitely tornadoes. Not so excited for snow. I don't know how well I'm going to fare in the snow. I mean, I play hockey, right? So I feel like I should like some of the frozen weather, but definitely tornadoes and those supercell thunderstorms, and just kind of learning about the weather systems that track across the Midwest. I think that's what I'm looking forward to most.
Well, you have a great team to learn from here at News 8.
I definitely do.
Before I let you go, though, I do want you to introduce viewers to your pet snake.
Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Kevin, and he's a Kenyan sand boa, and he's not that large. So this is him actually in my apartment, slithering through his little log there. And he's not that big, but he's in a 20-gallon tank. That's Kevin. He eats every other week. He's pretty simple to take care of. He'll peek his head out from the aspen occasionally, so he likes to bury himself. But
Aww.
that was one of the few moments where I put him back in the cage and he slithered through his new home. So he's making the adjustment to Quad Cities quite well.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad that both you and Kevin are here
Yes.
at Channel 8 with us. It's going to be an incredible next few years watching you grow.
Maybe I'll bring him in sometime.
Yeah, let's do that. I know John would love that.
He actually escaped on the drive up here. That's a fun story.
In your car.
In my car. He escaped the container, long story short, escaped the container, went into my golf bag. And he was at the bottom of my golf bag, and so I was shaking out the golf clubs, and then...
Welcome to the Quad Cities, yeah,
Yes,
that's awesome.
So that was fun. But he made the trip.
I love it. Matthew, thank you so much for your time today, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
For you guys at home, if you want to share this story, we have our online version introducing you to Matthew up at WQAD.com.